Hi, this is Rich Belanger of TimerServices.com, and today I want to show you how easy and quick it is to set up a simple 5K race. So what we're going to do, this is where you would go in and log in as a timer. I'm going to use the demo area, which you can use anytime you'd like, to sharpen your skills or play around. I'm going to log in to the demo area, and it brings me right to the page that you would see when you log into Timer Services. Timer Services, the two main components are online services and contract control. There are other things that you can see, but these are the two biggies here. And the contract control, what that does is that gives you all of your customer information at your fingertips. Much better than carrying around a pad of paper with customer information. And also the online services, that's where you set up your registration pages. So what we do is put in information into contract control, and then we easily push the data over to online services to create the registration page. Let me show you how that works. So in contract control, I'm going to go in, I'm going to create a new customer. I'm not going to put in all the information, just some of the essentials, and just to show you how quick and easy it is. What really is important are these items that I'm actually putting in. And this is a nice fake email address, but that email address is important. You'll see that later. I'm going to leave password as it is. I'm not going to bother with the address information at this point, but obviously if you want complete records of your customers, you do want to put this information in. What we do want to do is we want to put in a customer name, because this is where you're going to make, this is the name you're going to actually find on the check payable when you pay your customer the receipts that you've collected for him. And so we're going to put in what I call the Big Dog 5K committee. That's where you're going to mail the check. And the next thing that's important is the name of the event, and naturally it's called Big Dog 5K. I'm going to skip all of this information. These are the event address information, but we don't need that. The event date is something we definitely need, and we're going to make this on April Fool's Day. The last piece of information that we definitely want is the start time of the event. So what we're going to do is we're going to save it by clicking update, and now you can see that we've created a new record, customer ID 538. IDs are important to me, not so much to you, but what we want to do is be able to go over and make our registration page. There are two ways to get over to online services. To do that, you can always click on this link here for online services. But after you make a customer, the easiest thing to do is to click the create, and this actually creates the customer record in the online services, and then you just click on the number. And it brings you directly to that new customer you just created. At this point, all you need to do is go into users to be able to get the information that you need to be able to log in as the director. The director is the one that's going to be changing the information, so to speak. But you're going to act as that person right now, and they always have access to their back end. But right now we're just going to set up the registration page. So we go to director login, and we just paste in that email address. As you can see, that's the email address I talked about, which acts as the ID. And here we're going to just type in the word password, and we log in. And now we're in as the director. And when you see this little request to save password, it's a good idea to say yes, because it makes it much easier to get into these back ends later on. Now, the only thing we really need to do, even though there's a bunch of other processes that we have to set up a registration page, all we need to do is go into Manage Event, and I'm only going to go into the items that we need for the registration page. So the first place we go is to Events. As you can see, the information is already in here, and that's because we pushed it from the contract control. So that saves you a lot of keying. We have the date that we decided to make the race date, and then off of that we calculate the reg end date, which is the registration end date. We usually make it 2 days prior, but you can always change that date, and you can always change this time. And the registration page will close automatically on that date at that time. What we want to do next is we want to create the activity or activities for the event. And when I say an activity, I'm calling a 5K an activity. What we're going to say in this particular instance is that there is a 5K and a 10K. So I'm going to go over here to add activities, and I'm going to click add once, and I'm going to click it again. So now you can see it created 2 activities. We're simply going to edit the description of this activity and make it 5K, and we're going to make the 5K worth $25 and say update. And then we're going to edit the second one and put in 10K, and we're going to make this one $30. And so now our activities are created. You can always have discounts, which we'll talk about in a later video, by date or by age. The next thing you want to do in Manage Event is go down to the registration form. And this is important because these are the fields that actually are going to appear on the page. You can see by this column that some of these fields are turned on and some of them are not. This has all the typical information that you collect when you're going to a registration page, but we also have a bunch of user-defined fields here that allow you to collect extra information. You literally just have to edit these and create a new header and say yes, and now you've got another field on the registration page. We're going to make one edit here. I always keep this as a no, but let's go and set up the additional donation, so people might want to donate, an extra $10 because they like the cause. So we're going to actually set that to yes, and we're going to say update, and now that will appear on the registration page. If you want a little information at the top of the page, you just click this edit button here, and this will bring you to we're now in the word processing control that we have in Timer Services in many places. This one's going to be used to set up a little blurb on top of the registration page, like maybe the packet pickup on Saturday prior to the race. So you can add as much information in here as you'd like. Because it is a word processing control, I can go ahead and make the font a little bigger, and maybe I'm going to take this Saturday and I'll bold it, and maybe we decided that we want to make this packet pickup, the word packet, a different color. And so we're going to go ahead and change that to red so it stands out. So you can see there's all kinds of things that you can do, and I won't get into all the buttons, but let's submit it, and now it appears here. So it's always editable. You can come back and edit it, and it will appear on the top of the registration page. The next thing we want to do is we want to upload a logo, and this is assuming that your race director has given you a logo to use. And our race director did give us something, and we're going to go into where we saved it, Big Dog, and we're going to upload it, and then I'm going to give my default width is always 300, but you can make it as big as you want, and the height will adjust itself to the width proportionately. And there's our Big Dog, so that's going to appear at the top of the page. The next thing we want to do are the t-shirts. And we're just going to go with the typical sizes, although you can see we have lots of different kinds of sizes that you can list out there. So we're going to just go with the 4 that I always add is the large, medium, small, and extra large. And finally, we're going to go to actually, we're done. In the events area, we don't really have to do any of these things. We don't have a promo code. We're not going to do any of these other things. So actually we're done. So let's take a look at our page. Go back to the events area, and this link brings you right to the page. So you click that, and there's our page. And you can see it has all of the event information here at the top. It has that little bit of blurb that we talked about at the very top of the page, and so here's our registration page. As I mentioned, I needed to do a little quick edit because I had put the date as 2014, and you notice that we didn't have anything there, so I set it up for 2015. So when I refresh, it does come in as 2015, and it does show the 2 races in the drop down, and it shows all of the information that we gather for this race: first name, last name, all the address information, clubs. There's a drop down of clubs. You can add your own club if you'd like, which is pretty easy to do. The age, and everything you see here is required. There has to be something in every field, or else the person will not be able to move on to the payment page. But you can see we have, all of the t-shirts are set up, and the gender, and basically we've set up our registration page. That's all there was to it. Thanks for listening, and hopefully this was helpful to you.